everybody. Welcome to San Diego's Finest Business TV. And we're excited today to introduce our first guest, Mr. Ruben Garcia, who's the director of the San Diego office of the SBA. And I know you have a longer title than that, Ruben. So why don't you tell us, what is your title?
Well, I am the Federal District Director for the United States Small Business Administration, San Diego and Imperial Counties, Jack.
So I knew it was going to be a long one.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, Ruben and I have known each other for quite a while. You have a radio show on...
Yes.
What's the radio show you have?
It's WSRadio.com. It's called the SBA Radio Show. And mainly I have it because my mother said I have a face for radio. So.
Well, that makes two of us, but I want to find out a little bit more about, or a little bit about the SBA. Can you give me a little history or background of the SBA?
Absolutely. A lot of people aren't aware that the SBA, as it's the acronym for Small Business Administration, is really a federal agency. It's the United States Small Business Administration, a federal agency that was established in 1953 by President Eisenhower. And the reason he established it is because after World War II, a lot of the veterans that were coming back, they were looking for two things. They were looking to get a job, basically, be able to make money, and secondly, they wanted to buy a home. And so the concern was at that time that they didn't have the ability to step into the workforce. Some of them didn't. And so there was an option for new businesses to be started by these veterans. And President Eisenhower, who had a great vision for the future, said, why don't we create an agency to help these veterans and these people that are looking to start their own business or grow their own business. And so the mission statement that we have is to aid, assist, counsel, and insofar as possible, help small businesses, even in times of economic disaster, to provide them with relief and help. And that's basically our mission, and that's what we're here to do.
Okay, well, I don't know if I'd call this time period economic disaster, but it's been pretty tough the last few years. Yeah. So what have you been able to do to help? What kind of resources can you provide for somebody who's starting a new business in San Diego?
Well, there's a few things that we can offer to the listening audience and the hearing audience and those that are hearing and seeing us right now. They can establish a new business by getting assistance from us through our resource partners. We have several resource partners. SCORE, which is, it used to be the Service Corps of Retired Executives. They didn't like that, so they changed that because they really don't, you don't have to retire to become a member. These are volunteers that actually give of their time and help somebody to start a business if they're looking to start a business by counseling and giving them information and even helping them do things such as write a business plan, which is essential for a business that's starting up.
Sure, and these are retired executives who have already had success, right. So they're sharing their knowledge.
Yes, absolutely. And there's another group of resource partners that we have. They're called the SBDC, the Small Business Development Centers. We have 3 of them here in San Diego and Imperial Counties. One in Miracosta College up north. There's another one at Southwestern College here in National City. And then there's one in Imperial Valley that happens to be hosted by the San Diego State University. And basically, they're there to help in the same manner as SCORE is. But of course, their job is to help anyone that wants to either start a business or grow a business to the next level, and that's what they're there for.
So what would you say, I want to start a small business, what would you say my first phone call should be? To the main office at SBA?
Yeah, they should call 619-727-4883 and then say, I'd like to speak to a counselor. We have about 100 counselors, actually 98 right now. Luckily, they're not all in the office at the same time. I don't have enough room in my office for all of them, but they come in on an as-needed basis. They make an appointment, they come in, they sit down with them. Counselor will tell them, you know, what is your idea? What is it you want to do? And then, of course, the next step is, do you have a business plan? About 85% of the people who come in don't have a business plan. They have no idea what a business plan is, Jack. So when they come in, the first thing they'll tell them is, you need to put together at least a 10 to 20 page business plan. Has to have one page that's super important. It's called the executive summary. And in that executive summary, you have to have enough to be able to catch the attention of a lending institution that might want to lend you money or a venture capitalist that might want to invest in you. And once they do that, then they're set to go, and we help them then to go to the next step, and that's to get funding if they need it.
Yeah, and that's one of the questions that I have, because I learned the other day that the SBA doesn't actually make the loan. Is that right?
That's absolutely right.
What is your participation in the financial process?
We just put up the money, basically. Well, let me tell you something. There's only 3 agencies in the entire federal government that make money, and that's the IRS, and you wonder why the IRS makes money. The other one is the Mint, you know, the Treasury. You know, they take care of the money. And the third one is the United States Small Business Administration. We had a budget of $872 million last year. We brought in $1.2 billion into the coffers. So we actually make money for the government. We actually bring it in. And as a result, we're giving out loans. And when we do these loans, we can do them at a reasonable rate. I'm talking 2.79 to 4.70% over Wall Street prime. Great opportunity for somebody that wants to get a good low interest rate loan, wants to start out. And if they're having trouble getting loans, they're unbankable, so to speak. We have what's called microloans where we can help them out. Accion San Diego and another entity that's called the CDC, Small Business Finance. They do a tremendous job helping and getting small microloans out to customers. And that happens to be anywhere from $500 to $50,000.
That's what I was going to say. So what would you consider a micro loan? 500 to 50,000?
500 to 50,000. Then you get your standard loans, which are anywhere from 50,000 to 600,000, $750,000. But we can go as high as $5.5 million.
Wow. So basically, when someone is starting a business, they need a business plan.
Mm-hmm.
They need an executive summary, which is key.
Yes.
And of course, this is just all right now on paper. This is just an idea they have. Then there's a lot more to it than that. Do you have people that can help in like hiring and that kind of thing?
Yeah, once they get into that secondary stage, where they can get the money and then they want to hire, we can give them advice, and our SCORE counselors and our SBDC counselors can actually sit down with them and tell them, look, this is what people in your industry normally do, and they get good results from that. We tell them to be careful. You got to either hire somebody that has the experience. If you don't have the experience in the industry that you're starting out in, you need to hire somebody that has that experience. And you got to be careful because a lot of people have great ideas. They say, oh, you know, my wife can really cook. I'm going to put up a restaurant. Well, it takes a lot more than just a good cook. You got to have a lot of other things to work with it. And we're willing to sit down and help them with that, Jack.
And what would you say, and I know there's a lot of scam artists out there. I'm going to get Cheryl on from the BBB, but what should we look out for that are potential scams out there when we're starting a new business?
One thing that we are really concerned about is predatory loans. And those are loans that go outside of what's legal and what's right. We had one gentleman came to us the other day. He tried to get, all he wanted was $12,000. He couldn't get it. He thought he couldn't find a small loan of that amount. The banks wouldn't handle it. And so he got a personal loan, and a personal loan that was given to him as a business, and he got charged 94% interest. So after 6 months of paying almost $1,000 a month, he had paid 15 cents to the principal. Now, you talk about being predatory and taking advantage of somebody. That's the kind of stuff that's unfair and not right, and we need to tell people, watch out for that kind of thing. You know, a standard loan, if somebody gives you a personal loan, 10% in the state of California is the maximum that you can charge. Can't charge more than that. But that's why we're here. We're here to help people out, to make them understand. I think it was President Ronald Reagan said, the scariest words in the English language are, hello, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. But you know, it's really true. We are here from the government and we are here to help. And our services are absolutely free. To those that are watching us right now, I want you to know that if you need help, you can get it absolutely free from the SBA.
And so let's give your website out so that people can go there.
If you want to reach us, you can go to www.sba.gov and just put in whatever you're looking for into the search bar, and it's a very friendly, interactive website that you can easily maneuver through it.
Great. And I also, you might as well give your phone number again, too. And how accessible is the director?
I'm very accessible. As a matter of fact, I'll give out my telephone number. It's 619-727-4880. That's my direct line. You can call me directly. And the other thing that you're going to find out is we have a resource magazine. The resource magazine is the best thing we've ever put out. It's in English and in Spanish if people want to read it in Spanish. It's also available on the website. You can go to www.sba.gov. And you'll find it right there.
And I was going to ask you, too, because Spanish brings up an important question. We're a diverse community.
Yes.
Do you have help with other languages?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, my office, we have Korean, Chinese, Mandarin Chinese, we have Spanish, and Vietnamese. So we've got quite a few languages that we can do the service that they need, and in their own language. Right
there.
Yeah,
we call the number, and
that's just my staff, you know. And among that, we've got 98 counselors from SCORE. We've got 35 counselors from SBDC. So there's plenty of people that if you speak another language, we can help you out.
Wow, that's fabulous. Well, listen, we're just about ready to go to break here. Any parting comments?
Well, just one. If you have a need and you're thinking about starting a business, my listening friend, and those of you that are watching right now, please give us a call, 619-727-4880.
All right. We'll be back with more on San Diego's Finest Business TV on KSDY 50.
Home buying is easy, and now is the best time to do it. But do you know what you qualify for? If you're interested in getting approved for a home loan, we can help you out. Union Pacific Mortgage offers new home buying programs that will ease you into the buying process. We can assist you with closing costs and refinance your existing loan into a lower interest rate. There's no cost to figure out what you qualify for, so call today and take advantage of this opportunity. A mortgage professional will guide you through the process and bring you one step closer to your dream home. Don't buy a house, buy a home. Union Pacific Mortgage.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to San Diego's Finest Business TV show. And you know, San Diego's surrounded by water. And so I invited the president, Michael Jones, of the Maritime Alliance, and the executive director, Greg Murphy, of the Maritime Alliance, on the show today to tell us a little bit about the blue economy. So why don't you start, Michael?
Jack, thanks very much for inviting us. The blue economy is not very well understood. And in San Diego, it turns out it's one of the largest economies. We did a study in 2012 in conjunction with the San Diego Regional Economic Development Corporation and the Workforce Partnership, found 46,000 jobs and $14 billion in direct revenue. That makes it bigger than almost any other industry in this region. But we'd never studied it before because water is basically out there and it's out of sight, out of mind. So it's like opening up your closet and finding a cornucopia of jobs. And it's an amazing opportunity. San Diego has the largest maritime technology cluster in the United States,
wow,
one of the largest in the world. And we really have been focused on organizing two nonprofits. One is a 501c3 that focuses on workforce development and research, and then a 501c6 industry association. And we have over 50 members now, on our way to 100. And Greg recently joined us because we're growing and we need that kind of support.
Hey, there's a job right there.
That's right. We've got one.
Yeah. So you're happy about that, Greg?
Yeah, I am. Maritime Alliance is growing quickly. As Michael mentioned, we want to grow to 100 members by the end of this year. We've got a lot of big events that are in the pipeline, which we're happy to talk about as well. Well, for example, we have our annual summit in November, so our dates are November 7th through the 11th for what we call San Diego Blue Tech Week. And so this will be a series of events over the course of those 5 days focused on blue tech in San Diego. We'll partner with Scripps Oceanography. We'll do a workforce development day focused on training future employees in the blue economy, getting teachers to understand the job opportunities that are available in the blue economy. We'll also do an Investors Day. This is something that we're launching for the first time this year at our 8th annual summit. So we'll invite investors from around the country to come to San Diego and learn about the blue tech industry and to learn about the opportunities for investing in companies. So that's our Blue Tech Week San Diego. It'll be our 8th annual Blue Tech and Blue Economy Summit. And then in February 2017, we've partnered with one of the world's largest trade show companies in the world called Reed Exhibitions. They've been putting on Oceanology International in UK for the last 46 years. It's a 2-year show, so it's every even year. So we're going in 2016 in March. And then Oceanology International is coming to San Diego in February 2017, and it'll be here every 2 years. So this will be a huge coup for San Diego to have the world's largest trade show in ocean science and technology at the convention center. And we're extremely pleased and proud to be the exclusive regional partner with Reed Exhibitions on the launch of that.
Well, you guys make a great team. Michael, what do you have to add? You were telling us a little bit about, one of the things I'm curious about is the blue tech. I mean, can you define that a little bit more? How far that reaches? Blue tech. Tech encompasses a lot.
Right. It's a great question. We tell people we'll see it we'll know when we see it, because we work very much hand in hand with, of course, the military and the traditional industry that's here. But blue tech for us is that part that's really innovative. And we have identified 16 sectors, starting with aquaculture and seafood technology, boat and shipbuilding, whereby we're really not interested in a monohull. We're interested in wing sails going up on vessels, non-invasive species, non-copper-based paint. So we're talking about the things that are innovation and really pushing the envelope in terms of new jobs, all the way across to weather and climate change. San Diego has 16 sectors. You can put both the traditional industries, but in particular, you can put the blue tech in those. We're recognized around the world today. We have signed an MOU, a memorandum of understanding with the leading cluster in Canada, which is in St. John's, Newfoundland. In our November event, Greg talked about our coming up 8th annual Blue Tech and Blue Economy Summit. At our 7th annual, we signed a memorandum of understanding with the largest blue tech cluster in France. They're very equivalent to us in terms of size. It's very exciting for us. We already have 4 of our companies being helped in France today because of the relationship that we've developed with our counterpart clusters. We also are in the process of creating the first ever International Blue Tech Cluster Association. This is very exciting because San Diego once again will be seen as the center of the blue tech universe. And that really creates jobs here in the region. Our companies exporting more, finding partners in other countries, strengthens our companies, strengthens the job potential.
So it's really developing globally, the blue tech economy, and you are trying to be the leaders, I would presume, or you are the leaders, Greg.
Well, that's right, Jack. We are the leaders in terms of maritime technology. Like Michael mentioned, it hasn't been well known up until recently. When we did that economic impact study in 2012 that identified all those jobs, identified all those companies, that was really the first time for people locally to understand the economic opportunity that we have. And it really plays into our expertise as a region. You know, we grew up with the military here. We have Scripps Oceanography. We have incredible talent, and we have incredible companies because of that talent. And that makes us world leaders. Now, what we're doing as the Maritime Alliance is bringing in more international partners to understand that San Diego is a top blue tech destination. I'll talk about in March of last year. So in March of 2015, the Maritime Alliance put forward a blue tech vision for the San Diego region that acknowledges our maritime history, that acknowledges the incredible impact that the military has, acknowledges Scripps Oceanography, and talks about the future. So what are the future technologies that are going to be coming out of San Diego that really impact not only our region, but the world in terms of climate science and sea level rise and food shortages and water shortages? These are really immense challenges that we think San Diego is perfectly positioned to lead the world. So as part of that Blue Tech vision, which was unanimously supported by the San Diego County Board of Supervisors, the San Diego City Council, and the San Diego Unified Port District, that was approved in March of 2015, includes a Blue Tech incubator and several then unnamed centers of excellence. So for us, the Blue Tech incubator is that space for small startup companies to gain access to people that know what they're talking about, gain access to experts, service providers, professionals, venture capital, create those relationships with banks. That's really the economic opportunity that we have as a region. The Maritime Alliance has partnered with a large local development firm on a proposal for a long-term location for a Blue Tech incubator at the Port of San Diego. We're also looking at other areas for an interim space throughout the region. So we're committed to launching a Blue Tech incubator this year, and that will be supported and in context with several other related centers of excellence, again, playing off of San Diego's strengths. So those 3 are maritime robotics, both unmanned underwater vehicles that are autonomous and also remotely operated vehicles, so powered with a joystick and maneuvered with a joystick. The second one would be biomarine, everything that grows in the ocean, from aquaculture to biopharmaceuticals, biomedicines. Some really fascinating work happening within our local companies and within the universities that we can spin out into companies. And then a third one is water technology. San Diego is already a world leader in water technology. We want to support that. And then finally, a lot of conversation recently about ocean data, big data, ocean GIS systems. So we think we can put forward those 4 national and international centers of excellence right here in San Diego.
And, are you familiar with FCA?
Of course.
Do you plan on going down there and seeing some of the technology that's at the convention center this week?
Probably not. I mean, we have dealt with AFC in the past. They are primarily military focused.
Right.
Our technologies, for the most part, are multi-use.
Oh, okay.
And the fastest growth isn't necessarily in the military. So we're talking about people that are selling to aquaculture and power plants, and I mean, really selling all around the world, lots of exports. It's an industry that is got a lot of blue collar as well as white collar jobs, fast growth, and it's really an amazing opportunity for this region that people have to understand.
So if people want to learn more about Maritime Alliance, where would they go?
They can visit our website, so www.themaritimealliance.org. I'll say that again, it's www.themaritimealliance.org. And all the information that we have is available online with links to future events as well.
Okay, and that includes the incubator? Is that what the...
No, the incubator information is not up yet. We're
That's
still
not up yet.
we're still putting that together.
Okay.
But we've been very fortunate. We've gotten support from the city and the county, and we're working with a whole array of organizations on workforce development and economic development. So there's a lot coming. We can't put it all on the website, particularly that's the new stuff.
Sure.
But believe me, over the next 2 years, there'll be a lot going on here in San Diego that's going to enhance our visibility worldwide.
Excellent. Well, parting comments, gentlemen?
We would encourage people to come to our events if they're interested in blue tech. That's where a lot of the networking comes, and that's where the opportunity is to meet people and to see the technologies and speak to people face to face.
And the next event?
Our next big event is November 9th and 10th, the 8th Annual Blue Tech and Blue Economy Summit in Mission Valley.
Well, we have 20 events a year, so they'll need to get a hold of us, and we will be putting those on the calendar.
Go to that website, folks.
Right.
You have been watching San Diego's Finest Business TV. We'll be back next week with more